Hi, my name is Tara, and I work at feedtherightwolf.org, and I love it. I love working with individuals of all walks of life, all backgrounds, and all beliefs. One thing I bring, and one thing that every person that works at Feed the Right Wolf brings to the table, is their personal belief system and their own unique outlook. And I am no exception to that. So I have possibly a unique outlook for some of you, or an opposing viewpoint to the concept of casual sex. And I just want to provide some food for thought and put my ideas out there and give you something to chew on, a different perspective. I do want to put a little disclaimer out here for my friends who are people of faith. I am a part of a faith-based community where I live. I am a person of faith and have been my entire life. I want to challenge you to accept reality. Accept reality that casual sex absolutely does happen, and that not having a conversation about it isn't helping anyone. I'm more of the school of thought that the more we talk about things, the more we engage in conversation and discussion between people who have different opposing viewpoints or different outlooks on life, the better. The better we understand each other, and the better we all grow from each other's perspectives and viewpoints. So that being said, that's my little disclaimer for people of faith, and I just want you to challenge yourself in this department. Challenge yourself to have meaningful discussions with people. For those of you who aren't bothered at all by a video on this topic, this video is more for you. It's more for you because I probably offer an alternative perspective to casual sex than what you already hold. I want to look at casual sex in the context of relationship, first and foremost. And secondly, I want to look at it in the context of personal identity. So first and foremost, relationships. Let's paint a little picture. You're a young college-age male. You have not really met the person that you want to be with, and you're sowing your wild oats, and you're enjoying this time of life. You're enjoying partying. You're enjoying clubbing. You're enjoying picking up chicks when you have the opportunity, and hooking up with people, even people you don't really know that well, or people that you're just friends with. And you're absolutely enjoying that. I want you to ask yourself several questions before you engage in this behavior the next time, before you engage in casual sex in the future. The first question would be, how might this impact my future relationships? The second question, which probably should be the first one that I thought of, is how might this impact my health and well-being? And the third question is, how might this impact the other person that I am engaging in casual sex with? So those are questions you need to ask yourself. If you're entering in casual sexual relationships with another person and not asking yourself these questions, then I would propose that there might be a lack of self-awareness. There might be possibly some risky behaviors happening, things that are a risk to you. And there might be a lack of empathy or understanding for other people and what's going on in their lives. So I just want to throw that out there. And I ask you to, instead of immediately pushing back, really seriously consider those questions. I also want you to consider from a personal standpoint, how you feel about all of this. Do you feel great beforehand and in the moment, but afterwards feel empty and guilty and ashamed? Do you feel great beforehand and in the moment, but you're under the influence of some kind of drug or alcohol? And so it's kind of all a haze and makes it easier to forget the next day? And my next question would be, why do you need to be in a haze when you're doing these things? If that's the pattern, that you're always under the influence of something, then why? Is there a fear of actually experiencing the real emotions you might feel in that moment? Is there a fear of realizing that this is an empty exercise, devoid of intimacy? Is there a fear of recognizing maybe that I might be harming this person I'm with? I know enough about their life to know that this isn't really what they need right now, or this isn't really good for our friendship, or whatever this scenario may be. Is there a sense of recklessness behind all of this, that you just want to destroy your life? A voice, inner voice, urging you to engage in risky behaviors, to expose yourself to the risk of HIV and other STDs, to take the risk that a child might come of this union when you're not ready for children, or a child might come with somebody that you don't really have a connection with or wouldn't want to have a family with, or somebody that you know nothing about at all. So these are questions you need to be asking. And I know that sounds judgmental, you need to be, but I absolutely believe you do need to be asking those. You need to come into this with a sense of self-preservation. And considering yourself and considering others. The second part of this is the idea and the belief I want to provide a little pushback for, that we can engage in these relationships without impacting ourselves first and foremost. I truly believe that human beings are like layers of an onion. Our personalities are so complex. Our nature is so complex. And when you peel back one layer, there's another layer waiting to be discovered. And I believe that if we're growing and changing in our life, we're on a lifelong quest, not to seek pleasure, first and foremost, not to numb and cope and escape, but we're on this quest in life. We've been put here to grow and to change and to learn. And I truly believe we've been put here to not only know others and connect with others, but to connect with ourselves, first and foremost, to uncover some of the layers, to see what's beneath, and to see how it all comes together to form that onion, for a lack of a better analogy. And the goal is to have a whole onion, right? To not have like these chopped up slivers of onion laying everywhere. And that goal highlights the need for congruence in our life, for things to be working together to the best that they can. And I truly believe that nobody ever reaches the psychological pinnacle of congruence, or another word that you'll hear used is integration, personal integration. But I believe it's a journey, and I believe some people are further along than others. So ask yourself, how far along in this journey am I? If you're a person engaging in casual sex and frequent sexual encounters that really don't bring intimacy and joy and deeper meaning to your life, then maybe there's some layers there you need to peel back. Maybe you need to be looking at how your life can be more congruent. And maybe you need to also consider the fact that if you have an onion, the layers are touching each other. Each layer is building on the next. You have the core of the onion, and then it builds outward. And I want you to consider that for a moment when it comes to your sexual relationships. See, I truly don't believe that you can engage in sexual activity without it somehow touching the core of who you are. Now, does this mean you have to be a person who believes in only having sex when you're married to a person? No. I'm not telling you what to believe or think. Like I said, I'm providing pushback with my opinion for those of you who think that casual sex is actually something that's casual, because I really don't believe it can be. And I want to put that thought out there and see what kind of feedback I get, and get a conversation started about this. I'm really interested in the conversation. So consider all these questions. If you have any further comments you want to make, put them below, or if you want to engage in discussion with me, I am thrilled to talk about these topics, because I think they're of absolute importance. I think, as a country, we've been through the sexual revolution that began back before I was born. People felt freed and liberated, but as a result, we're further along now down the path, and we see the drawbacks to that as well. We also see the drawbacks to restrictions and fear and shaming sexuality. So a lot of my videos and a lot of my work is about striking that balance, and also about finding your place in the world and doing that from a place of wholeness. And so we want to approach other people with our sexuality as a whole person, because when we're fragmented, I truly believe that we engage more frequently in behavior that is harmful to other people and to ourselves. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. Thanks for watching.